CBS Sports just came out with their power rankings, and surprisingly, the Knicks are number one. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel and Chris. And Chris, yeah, let's dive right into today's topic. So, yesterday, an article published by Colin Ward Henninger from CBS Sports put out his power rankings, and yeah, the Knicks were at the top of the list, which was super surprising. You and I were talking a little bit offline, and I think you were mentioning how this might have been the first time the Knicks were number one on anybody's power ranking since when? The Melo team?
I mean, if we're being objective with this, at the very earliest, the last time the New York Knicks were ranked number one in power rankings was probably 2013. And that's the earliest. There's a real chance that throughout, since the turn of Y2K, which mind you, I was not around in the 90s. I'm 22 years old. This could be the first time in my lifetime that the Knicks have been ranked number one in power rankings. So this is absurd.
So besides that one season where Melo, when they went to the playoffs, so you think it was like, yeah, the 2012, 2013 season.
Yeah.
Prior to that, did they even have power rankings in the 90s, yo?
I have no idea. I wasn't in the 90s. That's all you. You're the old one here.
All right, easy. Let's take it easy. The thing is that, that's weird, yo. I don't even think the media was covering basketball like it is nowadays. So I don't know if there were power rankings like that. I mean, I know Sports Illustrated was around, but like I don't even know what other prominent media outlet there was. Like the New York Post, Daily News, they didn't have their power rankings. And as far as the 90s, like I was a little kid, so I wasn't like into basketball, and my knowledge of basketball wasn't what it is right now. So I wouldn't be able to tell you. So I think realistically, this might be the first time since that Melo season that the Knicks were ranked number one in any power ranking list. But what I also want to talk to you about, the rest of the list. So the Knicks are number one. Right behind the Knicks, we got the Clippers. Coming in at number 3 is the Boston Celtics. Number 4 is Denver Nuggets. And number 5, you can't see on the graphic, but I do remember seeing it, was the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I kind of just want to like pick your brain regarding just the momentum the Knicks are having right now. Even though Julius Randle has been out for a couple of games. This article was published yesterday. So they didn't have a lot of games under their belt without Julius Randle. I think it was only one, the Charlotte Hornets game. But like, yeah, man, just tell me what you think. Tell me what your reaction is to how the season is going so far.
I mean, obviously, I had high hopes after the Knicks were one of the 8 teams left in the NBA making the second round of the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. But I think it was hard to expect like that the Knicks would be this good again. In my mind, this is something that Kendrick Perkins said about the Knicks. And Kendrick Perkins, I know people love to hate on him. We've talked about this a ton, how he's the only person who will actively be pro-Knicks on the air in general on ESPN, which is ludicrous because Stephen A. Smith is a Knicks fan, so he should be more, but I did a whole video on that, so we don't have to talk about that now. But Perkins said about the Knicks, kind of pertaining to the 2021-2022 Knicks, year that we missed the playoffs in between the 2 playoff seasons that we had in the Randle Brunson era.
Right.
He said the Knicks are not going to have the same success that the 2020-2021 Knicks had because now they had a target on their backs. They were known as the underdogs. They were known as a team that was going to outwork everyone. And because of that, teams are going to really get up for those Knicks matchups. I kind of thought we would see something a little similar to it this season coming in. And in my mind, I thought the Knicks were going to finish somewhere around the 4 to 6 area again because Brunson's just that dude. They weren't going to fall off, in my opinion. But I didn't expect them to now be like breathing down the necks of the Milwaukee Bucks for the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. I don't think anyone could have seen that coming.
Nah, yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Like, I thought they were gonna finish the season within the 4 to like 6 seed range. I mean, they still have like another half of the season to go, so that still might happen. But the only hiccup that the Knicks had was the first 2 weeks of the season where Brunson was still finding his shot. Randle was still coming off the ankle surgery, so you could tell that he was still trying to find his rhythm. Honestly, man, but besides like those 2 weeks or maybe that first 3 weeks of the season, like everything was just rolling. And then the OG and Anunoby trade happened, and then we saw how seamlessly OG fit into the team. He's been out a couple of games because of that elbow inflammation, but it's just interesting now with Randle out. These last two games against Charlotte and then last night against the Utah Jazz, like, I also want to pick your brain about that. So you weren't able to do the post game with me for the Charlotte game and Utah, but I know you've seen highlights, and I don't know if you watched the whole game. But tell me what you see just with those two games specifically with Julius Randle out.
I mean, yeah, I have not seen the entirety of each game. I've seen bits and pieces of both of them, especially the Hornets game. I saw the majority of the Hornets game, honestly. I just didn't see the fourth quarter. Um, but so I think it's really just been obviously like the easy answer is to say when Dante DiVincenzo gets more shots, the man is just incredible right now. He's on a hot streak. The whole Knicks team is on a hot streak. That's the easy answer to give right now. But I think it's also just been the ball movement the Knicks have had. Like, they're moving the ball so quickly. They're playing team basketball. This is not what we have seen a lot of the time. Even with this Knicks team, especially before the trade, we were not seeing this ball movement. The Knicks are moving the ball the way that championship basketball teams move the basketball. The ball's always going to move faster than legs, and that's what we're seeing with the Knicks. They're unselfish. Everyone's getting opportunities. Like, I get Brunson is getting the most of them because he's Jalen Brunson, and now DiVincenzo is getting a lot of them. But everyone's getting shots up. Achua has gotten multiple chances to come out here, show that he can play the 4 on top of playing the 5. And when he gets into a rhythm, when he gets the ball, he's got something to show. The Knicks are they're playing this team style of basketball they've never seen a Tom Thibodeau team do before. It's unbelievable. And I think part of that is, we've talked about it before, and he hasn't done it as much this year, but Randle definitely is kind of a ball stopper.
Kind of?
Kind of. This season. And historically,
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like historically, yeah, ball stopper. This season, it's definitely less so, which is huge.
Right, he's gotten better at it. Yeah, he's gotten better at it.
There's less moments of Randle holding the ball for 3 seconds, convinced he's Carmelo Anthony, and just completely halts the offense. He does do it to a degree, I won't lie. And, I mean, even Brunson will do it 1 or 2 times, but it's Jalen Brunson. He can get away with anything.
Facts.
But really, we're seeing an unselfish Knicks team that clearly, more than anything else, is just fully immersed themselves in next man up. We're winning these games. We're a winning basketball team.
Yeah, no, I mean, you said it yourself, and I know you're gonna hate to hear it, but the biggest thing I've seen is just with Julius Randle out, the ball movement is just a lot more crisper. It's a lot more like, it's just faster paced. And yeah, man, and I remember telling you when he went down, I said, I'm sorry to all Knicks fans, don't kill me in the comments, but I said, like, this is not a horrible thing if his season is not gonna end, and we still don't definitively know if his season is going to end. As far as right now, we're still under the impression that he's going to be out for a month and a half, and then they'll take it from there. But we haven't got the news that he's going to get surgery and then the season's going to end. But yeah, it's just like, yo, Julius Randle out of the lineup. Like, I have the utmost confidence in Jalen Brunson just being the leader of the team, carrying the team, and seeing how Dante DiVincenzo has been playing with Julius Randle out. Now my confidence in him has grown even more as far as being a little bit more aggressive with his shot and actually converting his shots. Precious Achiuwa is actually showing me something. Like yesterday specifically in the Utah game, he actually showing me that he has somewhat of an offensive game. He had a couple possessions last night where he's like, usually he's looking to pass out, but then he was looking for his shot. And I just got like a sense of what kind of player he is. And I said it in yesterday's post game. I feel like once he gets his groove and once he gets his comfortable level up, like he's gonna be the type of player that you can point to and be like, he's always gonna be in the right spot. He's always gonna be in the right rotations, which is gonna be easier for him to get his points up. Because I feel like everybody's gonna be like Isaiah Hartenstein had a perfect example of this last night. He drove down the lane and Precious was right there to get the handoff pass from Isaiah Hartenstein. And like that's just something I feel like chemistry and just time that he needs in order to get more comfortable. But I mean, hopefully Randle is not out for the rest of the season. Hopefully we get a little bit more of an update as the week goes on.
So actually, we haven't done a video on it. At some point we might probably, but Woj is very active on Instagram threads for some reason. I have no idea why, but that's Woj's pick of fan interaction.
He's beating Shams to it.
True. He's monopolizing the Threads field,
Facts.
but he's very interactive with fans on it and kind of gives them updates on questions they'll ask. Obviously, I'm mainly paying attention to the Knicks ones. He gets a ton of Knicks questions. He was asked about Randle again, and he gave a very affirming answer of basically he's not going to be out for the rest of the season. Like, he will be back. And we know how Julius is. If he can defer getting surgery till the offseason, he's going to. That's just the type of guy that he is. He did it with his ankle. He'll do it with his shoulder. Especially if the Knicks are winning. They know that Julius is just like that type of guy. And also just to circle back to something that we started the video on. So while we were talking about this, I also on the side went into a deep dive of real GM forums on the internet
What?
to find some forums from Real GM, the website. Basically, I was trying to figure out the last time the Knicks were the first in power rankings, and I was trying to really just find that in general, and it brought me here to the depths of NBA internet.
Oh my god.
And I was reminded the Knicks started the 2012-2013 season 9-0. So they were certainly first in power rankings at some point in the beginning of the 2012-2013 season, which means for those counting, it's been 11 and a half years since the Knicks have been first in power rankings anywhere. But we're back. We're first in power rankings once again. We've done it.
Speaking of the 2012-2013 season, are you ready to get that Carmelo Anthony video? I'm gonna roast your boy and tell you how much of a disappointment he was.
No, I'm not, because it's not Melo's fault.
Get the facts. Get all your numbers ready, baby. And before we wrap up, I just wanted to touch base on, Chris, do you remember when we did the post-game show against the Orlando Magic? I hit you with a little impromptu exercise for the next 13 games. I asked you, like, what's your opinion? What do you think they're going to do in the next 13 games? What's the record going to be? You remember when I did the exercise with you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I kind of just wanted to touch base upon it. We did a little research before starting this video, and we saw that they're 8 games in to that. So, Chris, what's their record within those 8 games?
Well, unsurprisingly, since the Knicks are the greatest team of all time, they're 8-0. We haven't lost since then.
8-0. I remember when we did that exercise in that video, I said I would be happy if they were like 500 or slightly above 500, and they're 8-0, which
I predicted 8-5.
8-5. So for you, basically, they need to lose the next 5 games in a row, which is.
Yeah, I'm okay with being wrong on that one.
Wait, so can you name the remaining teams that they have to play?
Absolutely. So remaining in that stretch, we have the Indiana Pacers tomorrow night at 7:30. Then the Lakers on Saturday at 8:30 p.m. The Lakers come to the Garden. Then the Memphis Grizzlies come to MSG. Then the Mavericks come to MSG. And then the Pacers come to MSG. These next 5 are all home games. 2 against the Pacers, 1 against the Mavericks, 1 against LeBron and the Lakers, and 1 against the Memphis Grizzlies.
So I think the 2 games with Indiana, I think they're gonna split. I think that's gonna be 1-1. The Lakers, that's a crapshoot. The Memphis one should be a W. And they have 1 game against the Mavericks?
1 game against the Mavericks. Yeah, there was 2 Mavericks games in the whole stretch of the 13, but they already did the 1.
All right, so that 1 game remaining against the Mavericks, that's a crapshoot. I don't know.
I think the Knicks are going to win because the Mavericks beat them in Dallas, so I think the Knicks are going to respond well.
Yeah, tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, actually, Ernie Johnson and the Inside the NBA crew, they're gonna announce the reserves, and it's 100% guaranteed. If Jalen Brunson does not get announced as reserve, I'm gonna riot, bro. But that's not gonna happen. Yeah. He's gonna be named as a reserve. But yeah, tomorrow's the Indiana Pacers at the Garden. I'm very interested to see that game. Halliburton coming back from his hamstring injury, so it's gonna be a nice test and especially without Randle, I want to see how the Knicks match up with them. But that's it for today's video, guys. We want to say thank you for checking it out. Leave it in the comments. Let us know what you guys think about the Knicks being number 1 in CBS Sports Power Ranking. And until next time, it's always go Knicks and peace.